the most important thing to keep in mind is that, especially when you're an advocacy organization or a movement or a campaign, is that you're building a list. And if you're doing it well, you're building a lot of data into that list about all of your users, all of your supporters. And when you're going to use video, you're going to leverage that against your list. Utilize your list for micro-targeting, for major email blasts, for asks, and so on. But also not just on the loudspeaker side, on the communication that's just top down, but on the communication side of bottom up. Like, use the list to find those stories, to hear what people are interested in, and actually listen to it and engage with them in it, and source your stories and your inspiration and your design and your aesthetic from a lot of what you're finding in out in your constituency, or your multiple constituencies or whatever. So some examples of how you would use that list would be, like, use your list to work with video would be, for example, the way that we would post particular videos, let's say in a micro-targeting sense. We would take a video that we knew was very particularly interested to some demographic, let's say Asian American Pacific Islander community, and it was the content was designed for them from the beginning. And what we would do is take the email list parsed to the AAPI community, and knowing that those people on that list were probably a great portion of them were influential people, or influencers in a marketing sense, and we would target them with an email with this video in it. The subject would say video, all capped, colon, Maya Satoru Ing will tell you about her brother Barack, or something, short. People would go into the email. The email would have a short description of why the video was important and why you should click on the thumbnail photo that was in there. Click on the thumbnail. Thumbnail takes you to the blog.
Oh, it's an HTML. The thumbnail appears in the inbox.
Yeah, thumbnail, like, you go into your inbox, you're looking at your email. Click on a thumbnail. The thumbnail drives you onto the video embedded on our site, and in a blog. It's wrapped in some more text and language that describes the purpose and the intent of the video, and potentially a call to action. People will watch that video, and the call to action would be very clear, and a button either beside it or directly beneath it would say whatever: take action, join the list, donate, or share this video. So we, of course, so that is all of that was, for all intents and purposes, free. But what it did was it leveraged the power of video with our list to drive action and drive donation, and we saw substantially higher open rates in videos, in the neighborhood of 5%, increased open rate on an email, which then would translate into higher click-through and conversion rates to actual actions. So you can see how that would begin to amplify whatever else you're working on. And a lot of nonprofits think video is really expensive. I can't even access this thing. I don't even want to get into it. But if you look at the way that video will pay for itself. Video is an investment, and if you think about it really strategically, it'll pay for itself through the impact that it has, the benefits both tangible and intangible. Some of those tangible ones are increased open rates. The intangible ones are, well, potentially, if you were being a little more analytical, you could make them tangible, but things like participation, retention, inspiration, and engagement, and how those metrics would then convert into, better action on the ground as well. So, if you're going to blast a video, or even micro-target a video, it has to be a quality video, and you really have to build a set of standards by which to know what is an actually quality video. Because if you send out a poor quality video, people will stop clicking on that email to see what you've sent them, because it doesn't engage them, or they can't hear it or see it, or it's too long, or whatever reasons that makes the video poor it's gonna affect how you do it. So basically, you want to choose your most popular videos or your best videos and make as best you can, and target those as best you can as well. don't know, it seems kind of simple. It's like, just put your best videos, only blast your best videos.
Don't blast everything. Be selective.
Yeah. In many instances of the videos that we would produce and distribute, it was not necessarily about driving up a major number of views. View count wasn't the only thing that, wasn't the only metric that we would hope for with a video. So I think it often wasn't just quantity; it would be quality, and we wanted a quality targeted outcome from our video, and we couldn't necessarily measure that. A lot of that was really intangible, but we heard a lot of anecdotal evidence from people in the field, people that were working, a lot of the core supporters, the volunteers, the field organizers, that like those videos that took place in their state, or just whether it was just the full 1 hour of the rally that took place in their area, or a short video about somebody, a field organizer in their situation, they loved it. Anything that would come out like that, it was a reaffirmation of all their hard work, and it was kind of a gift to them in a way. And it was to say, we are from headquarters looking out for you, and we are looking like we are telling your stories again and again and again. And that, I think, drove a sense of community and involvement on such a major scale that you wouldn't be able to do without video. You couldn't do that with an email. Like you just couldn't do it with an email that would get an emotional reaction that would translate to, staff retention and turnout rates on volunteer days and everything like that. And also persuasive buy-in. I mean, we made 12 videos in 12 separate languages with with an opening and a closing in 12 separate Asian American Pacific Islander languages with Barack's sister, with a common body that was telling Barack's connection to the Asian American Pacific Islander community and his background in a pluralistic society, and targeted that directly at what was the Asian American Pacific Islander community, which was a key demographic in Nevada at the time. And we can only believe that translated to those videos, if their view count was only 5,000, 10,000, that it hit at least 500, say, influential people in that community, which translated to probably a multiplied effect of buy-in from that community. It's about being able to micro-target, but also not worrying about the view count. That a state video with a view count of 10,000 might be all the 10,000 organizers in that state and no one else, and it could mean the world. Like, it doesn't have to be 100,000 views. I like to make an example. It's like, I could make a video with a view count of 1, and it could be a letter to my grandma, and it could change your life. And I could make a video that has a view count of 10, and it's 10 people on the board of directors at some foundation, and they give a $100,000 grant to some community arts group. And it changes the way a city engages with its youth, and it's, in this day and age, it's to me, it's not about going viral. It's not about huge view counts. It's about impact, and it's about targeting that impact, and you can target that impact by controlling your distribution. So you couple the two together and you have a really powerful concoction.